Good evening. Special weather news bulletin today. We bring you the latest updates on the tropical cyclone situation in the Atlantic Ocean, where Tropical Storm Gabrielle has officially been named and is now trending towards strengthening into the next hurricane of the season. At the same time, the U.S. mainland is preparing to face significant weather disruptions, including dangerous heat, widespread thunderstorms, and shifts in atmospheric patterns that could affect many states over the next 7 to 10 days. First, let us focus on the system that is drawing the most attention right now, Tropical Depression 7, which has intensified into Tropical Storm Gabrielle in the main development region of the Atlantic, also known as the MDR. This is a large, sprawling system that does not yet have a well-defined structure but has already established a closed low-level circulation. Because of this, the U.S. National Hurricane Center has officially upgraded the system and placed Gabrielle under close watch. Initial forecasts suggest that in the next 24 to 48 hours, Gabrielle will maintain tropical storm strength with sustained winds around 45 miles per hour, gradually increasing to about 60 miles per hour by the weekend, and potentially reaching Category 1 hurricane status by early next week. Current forecast tracks indicate that Gabrielle will likely move northwest and then curve northeastward, steered by a weakness in the subtropical ridge. This means that most Caribbean islands, including the Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, Cuba, and Jamaica, are expected to remain outside the danger zone. However, Bermuda now lies closer to the forecast cone, and over the coming days could be drawn into Gabrielle's zone of influence. The question arises, could Gabrielle unexpectedly turn into the Caribbean? Meteorologists generally consider this scenario unlikely because upper-level steering currents are already well established, directing the storm north and northeast. Still, caution is warranted, as history has shown storms can sometimes make sudden course changes when their internal structure is not yet stable. Turning to numerical models, there are notable differences in the scenarios. The European model, ECMWF, projects that Gabrielle will strengthen slowly, maintaining central pressure near 1007 MB for the next 48 hours, and only intensifying significantly late this weekend, when pressure could drop below 980 MB, making Gabrielle a Category 2 hurricane. The USGFS model paints a weaker short-term outlook, with Gabrielle perhaps staying a modest tropical storm through the end of the week, before gradually strengthening early next week and then curving out to sea, dissipating far to the north. Germany's ICON model presents a similar picture, favoring a weaker storm with no direct land impacts. Ensemble members show nearly 90% probability that Gabrielle will not enter the Caribbean but will instead curve northward into the open Atlantic. Thus, we can be cautiously reassured that the direct threat to the U.S. or the Caribbean remains low, though Bermuda should monitor conditions closely, as Gabrielle could still approach closely enough to bring strong winds and heavy rainfall. Aside from Gabrielle, another disturbance has just exited the West African coast. The National Hurricane Center currently gives it only a 20% chance of development. With dry Saharan air and unfavorable upper-level shear, its prospects of forming into a storm are low, and it may be removed from the watch list within a few days. Still, this is mid-September, the climatological peak of hurricane season, so the potential for additional tropical systems forming from the intertropical convergence zone in the next 1 to 2 weeks remains significant. In a broader climate context, the Madden-Julian Oscillation, MJO, is currently in a suppressive phase for the Atlantic but is forecast to shift into a more favorable phase after September 20th. That means that from late September onward, the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico will become more conducive to tropical cyclone development. Therefore, even if Gabrielle curves out to sea, the remainder of the hurricane season still holds many uncertainties. Now let's return to the weather across the United States. At present, a strong trough is active across the central states, producing widespread thunderstorms from Nebraska, Kansas, and Iowa up into the Dakotas. Several locations have already recorded heavy rainfall, severe thunderstorms, and flash flood risks. Forecasts indicate this system will continue to move slowly, bringing prolonged heavy rain to the Midwest and the northern Great Plains through tonight and tomorrow. Meanwhile, in the Northeast, a coastal trough is delivering scattered showers to New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, and New England. However, rainfall totals remain light and insufficient to ease the region's long-running drought conditions. The Southeast is experiencing scattered tropical showers, most concentrated in South Florida, where localized flooding warnings have been issued following 100 millimeters of rain in just 24 hours. Across the southern plains, including Oklahoma, the Texas Panhandle, New Mexico, and Colorado, severe thunderstorms are possible this evening. The U.S. Storm Prediction Center has issued a Level 2 out of 5 risk, highlighting potential hazards including wind gusts over 60 miles per hour, hail larger than 1 inch, and even isolated weak tornadoes. Tomorrow, this convective activity is expected to intensify along the Rockies and adjacent plains. Flash flooding is a particular concern in southern Colorado and northern New Mexico, where steep terrain enhances the risk of rapid runoff. In the Pacific Northwest, remnants of former Eastern Pacific Hurricane Mario are now bringing welcome rainfall into drought-stricken California. From tonight into tomorrow morning, showers will spread across cities from San Francisco to Los Angeles. While this moisture will not be enough to cause widespread flooding, it provides some relief to areas suffering from persistent drought. As for temperatures, another round of dangerous heat is building across the Midwest and Great Lakes. This weekend, highs may surpass 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius, in Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois, and could extend northward into Minnesota. With high humidity, heat index values will reach dangerous levels, posing health risks to communities. By contrast, the southeast and Atlantic seaboard will enjoy relatively pleasant conditions with cooler mornings and mild sunshine during the day. Looking ahead over the 7 to 10-day outlook, climate models show a seesaw pattern developing. The Pacific Northwest will see additional cool air and rain from incoming oceanic systems, while the central and Midwest states remain locked under extended heat. The Southeast will continue to experience tropical showers. Importantly, as the MJO shifts into a favorable phase in late September into early October, the risk of tropical cyclone formation in the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico will rise significantly, a particular concern because these areas often generate storms that threaten the U.S. mainland. In summary, Gabrielle is currently the focal point of the Atlantic hurricane season, likely to strengthen into a Category 1 or 2 storm in the coming days, but with a low chance of directly threatening the U.S. or Caribbean islands, except Bermuda, which should stay alert. Meanwhile, the U.S. mainland faces dangerous heat across the Midwest and Great Lakes, alongside severe thunderstorms in the southern plains and scattered rainfall in the Northeast and Southeast. Weather conditions remain volatile as we move through the second half of September, with global atmospheric patterns entering a highly active phase. That concludes today's special weather news bulletin. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so you won't miss the latest updates. Thank you for watching, and we wish you a safe and peaceful day.